And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to Quick Play Tarot. My name is Coy, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads it back up and open. Either message or email me directly. Link is on main, and we'll set it up, okay? So, Cap, what are we looking at in this round of reads? This is going to be your career read for the month of June. Career read as in labors, jobs, contracts, partnerships, and ultimately what we put our efforts into and what we get back from it. Immediately, the monetary and the coin, which can be nice, but also what else can be garnered, right? So, as a preamble to the recap, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, if it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I got 12 signs to work with and none of the time to lie to any of them. Instead, we are going to lay our cards out on the table, and good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we'll talk about it, because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one, yeah? So follow along with me in your read today, Cap, your career read, and yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to do a past, present, future orientation, just makes it easier to do. Show us the cards we need to see, please, for Cap's Capricorns. Ooh. Okay, but it didn't hit the table, so I can't take. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. For Capricorn's career read, we're starting with a past orientation. Okay, Five of Swords. Got it. Feeling like you weren't making the best decisions or that you were clearly not doing things in your best interest. However, every behavior meets a need. I'm kind of curious about what that means for you. Nine of Swords. Interesting. And what goes along with that Nine of Swords? The Fool. Whew. Yeah. I mean, our behavior is going to lead us somewhere that's going to be more accommodating. There was an awkward, how do I put this in the nicest way, Capricorn? We did not like our station. And this and other factors ultimately contributed to, yeah, we're going to have a new beginning. We probably got fired. And while we didn't want that to happen from the space of security, it's probably pushing us in that direction because that's where we need to be, right? The Fool coming out here saying, yeah, more is possible. And if I looked at my behavior in the grand scheme of things, I don't like it here for a reason. And my behavior is starting to show that. Maybe I need to start listening to how I feel about it and going in the direction that I need to be. That's where I want, okay? The next, down the middle, shows the cards we need to see, please. In the present orientation for Capricorn. What the cards we need to see, please, of the here and now for Cap. Ooh, I like that. That is what we call a flip out. And so I will take it because it did hit the table. Ace of Pentacles. What's happening here now? A new opportunity has presented itself. Yeah, whatever it was not working out for you. Hey, let's try something new. Why? Hermit, card of Virgo. Trusting our wisdom and our own guidance and our own healing will guide us towards the pathway we need to be on. And the Queen of Wands. Something that we could fully invest ourselves into. Having that in your present, Capricorn, yeah, this wasn't working out because it's trying to push you to where you need to be. Now, you got a new opportunity here. I hope that you're not transferring these behaviors or wherever you were down to what could be something that you actually like, right? Here, I think that part of you recognize, hey, this whatever I was working probably wasn't the best fit for me. Cool, we parted ways. Now, if I'm in an environment that actually loves, appreciates me, and allows me to expand and do what I need to do, what does that tangibly look like? What opportunity is presented to me then? Right? We want to embrace it. You're in a very much more open and optimistic space here. And I want you to keep that going. The more you give to it, the more you'll get back. In the future orientation, shows the cards we need to see, please, for Capricorn. What is going on in the future for Cap? Okay, Three of Swords. Question isn't if, the question is why. I want to hold off on that for a second. Seven of Wands. Why are we defensive and guarded? Temperance. Okay, got it. And underneath it all, Five of Wands. So in the future, in an opportunity and environment that is much better for you, Cap, what's a nice way to say this? We noticed that these patterns that we had from whatever space or opportunity we had to leave behind, they're starting to emerge again. And our immediate reaction is to just play it off and say, well, I mean, it is what it is. What are we going to do about it? Thing is, temperance, with time comes wisdom and healing. Hopefully time fixes that. Here, we have to hold ourselves accountable, right? And say, okay, my behaviors and what this was, I probably wouldn't have liked me in that situation, but I got towards something that was much better. Now, when I start to notice all these old patterns, because old patterns die hard, admittedly, when I start to show them, see them pop up, how do I confront that and say, no, I'm better than this. I can do more than this. How do we move properly, knowing that we want to evolve from wherever that was? Because admittedly, whatever this was in the grand scheme of things probably wasn't right for you. And two things can be true at once, right? You can have reactive behavior that shows that, hey, this isn't the best for me. But also when an opportunity shows itself to you, okay, now that that barrier is out of the way, what am I left to do with it? And so with that Five of Wands, the conflict that's coming out, okay, where's my responsibility to address some of these things, and how do I address them properly? Right? That's the bigger thing that we're trying to do. So, okay, I can understand where you're coming from. Now that we got all these time orientations, show us the in-between. Show us the cards we need to see, please. What rests in between for Cap in this read today. Between the past and present orientation for Capricorn in this read. Queen of Swords. Knowledge and action. How do we move forward? Ten of Pentacles. The foundation and roots of everything of where we are and how we move. Queen of Cups. What does it mean to actually show the best of ourselves if we had a better environment and a better place to show it in? And so, yeah, when you kind of got pushed out of that opportunity, admittedly, Cap, now that you're in a better place, okay, it's showtime. What do we do when we're given that opportunity? We expand, but we're trying not to revert to those old behaviors when we get defensive about it, because, hey, there's more to do here. We said it would be better if we had a different job, different space, we're around different people. Now that things are different, who are we left to be? Not our old selves. Okay. Next, between the present and future, show us the cards we need to see, please. What rests in between? The what is and what if for Cap in the read. Ten of Swords. Okay. Why? The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Not totally bad. This was not going in the direction I originally thought it would. Okay. And alongside that Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Wands. Okay. So ultimately, this opportunity, and I can see underneath, Two of Wands, intentionality. How do we apply our purpose? This opportunity may eventually come to an end as well. And as opposed to over here, where it was blatantly wrong for you, this was a much better fit. The question now becomes, Capricorn, why? Right? And I think that it's more abrupt when it happens, that this just doesn't go in the best direction. However, things are about to change with time if we are willing to do the work to create the environment we want to be in. The Four of Wands here, not necessarily representing, a relationship or marriage, but safety and security. Here, okay, I didn't want to be in that space, but if I saw that space as disposable, I behaved disposably. In the present, a much better opportunity came along, but I wasn't really feeling that either, but it was good. It was what I asked for. Now, who am I left to be? And what am I left to define for myself when I stop saying that it's the environment's problem? Right? These are some tough conversations to have. And I'm not trying to sign bash you, Cap. Please understand, I'm just reading what I see on the board. In the future, when we have to look at this problem or whatever happens here in hindsight, we have to tell ourselves, okay, well, what about me am I not addressing so that when things do go right for me, which they will again, the Wheel of Fortune popping out, it will happen, I don't repeat these same patterns and just cast it off and say it is what it is. We're trying to have a hard stop to that. So I do appreciate that for you. Okay? In resolution, as we move towards resolution, first define the major arcana strewn across the table in this read. We'll first look at the Fool. What about the power of new beginnings, and how is this defined? Because that was very interesting. So let's cards you can see, please, for Cap in this read. First, define the Fool. High Priestess, yeah. Eternally, we knew, this is done and over with. So whatever the space that you eventually had to leave from, you were already planning your exit in a weird way to the Hermits. Two of Pentacles, making things balance out, making things heal, making things go right. Okay? Things will work out, things get to a much better space. Now, what happens afterwards? To Temperance, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. And again, things start immediately looking up, even if you had to leave this behind, Cap. The question becomes, how, even if the opportunity is presented, which is what is happening here and now in the present, even when the opportunity is presented, what are we left to do? How do we make things better? How do we get it right? Okay. To the Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Pentacles. Knowing how to make a good and proper investment and taking that action for the long haul. It is a very slow moving process, but here we're trying to address our own behaviors, not just cast them off to the wayside again. Not in resolution, but in a crossing pattern. Temperance. And what do we address for the problems within? Death. Card Scorpio, right? The things that we used to have justifications for in the past, we cannot pretend they're defensible in the future that we want to make, right? That environment wasn't right for you. Totally get it. This may not have been a perfect match either in some way, shape, or form. I can get that. But for where we want to go, what internal work do we have to do to get there? And I think you're becoming more accustomed or acclimated and ready to have that conversation. In resolution, Justice, card of Libra. The balancing of the scales. What does it tell us when we weigh all things evenly? And the Tower. When things come crashing in, what happens when the dust and the rubble settles? Underneath it all, the Moon, the card of Pisces. The things that we don't know or don't have answers to yet. We're trying to engage in conflict, particularly around, this habit that we have of, okay, things start to look good, but then I don't want to be here, but what can I do to address that, right? All these things are coalescing. And the answers aren't clear right now, but eventually we will get to the conflict point of saying, what are the things that I have to do, regardless of the environment that I'm in? So here's what we got in your read today, Cap. Yeah, you kind of get kicked out of one space and into another, one that's much better suited. And if that opportunity goes away, it's also the understanding that, hey, maybe there may be some other aspects I want to work on for and by myself before I just, charge recklessly into another opportunity. New opportunities will present themselves to you in abundance. That's not the issue. The issue is keeping it, not just getting it, right? It's not about what you got, it's about what you can keep. And so, with everything going in your favor, what challenges do you have for yourself that you want to address little by little? That way, we can create the optimal future that we want, not just the one that we just so happen across. That's what I got in your read today, Capricorn. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, is it fun? No. But is it necessary? Yes. And with all the decisions you have right in front of you, I hope you make the ones that are fair both to you, but also your circumstance as well. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.